I can't help but to feel as though I've wasted 3 years of my life. October 2023, I turned 21. And since I graduated high school, let's see, it was COVID, so there was no jobs. But luckily, my mom's boyfriend he's contracting as I don't know the proper term. He would renovate people's restrooms, renovate their kitchens, stuff like that. And I think I got paid like $100 a day to help him. So that was like, I'm pretty sure that's less than minimum wage. Do the math, divide 100 by 8, and that's like what I was getting paid. And I had that, and then my mom had gotten me a warehouse job. And from there, it's history. Just warehouse the whole way through. And it's funny. I said, like, it feels like a waste. And what really enforced that was I was sat here at this table talking to my mom. And she had suggested to me, she was like, maybe you should get into trucking school. And it made me think back 2 years ago when she told me the same thing. I was working on, getting into copywriting, digital marketing, freelancing. And I told her, I was like, oh, Mom, I believe in this. I believe in the process. I'll work on this. Give me 6 months. And that was 2.5 years ago. Ugh. And here I am, still trying to do the same thing. And it makes me feel as though it was a waste. It was like, here I go again. I just left my old job I had been at for a year, and I'm about to go get another job that pays exactly the same, which means that whole year was no growth. It's like, damn, how did a year just passes by? 3 years passed by. I was just 18. And it's like, there's financially a plateau. There's no growth. There's no promotions. 4 jobs, all paying around the same. And then it's like, you're like, damn, it's like, I'm stuck. Well, I'm doing everything so wrong. If it wasn't for working out, I would feel as though I had no growth this whole time. Only thing that's grown is my muscles. At least that's what I felt like. I know it was my mind. My mind too. I've grown mentally, and I'm different this time. With the time I now have, and don't get me wrong, I'm getting a job, but I'm more disciplined. And I became aware of this mentality shift. Let's see. It was actually when I quit my last job. Let me explain that. My last job, because of circumstances, I had to get one that it was really far. It was 40 miles from me. And then there was a bit of traffic, so it would take me an hour every day to get to work. For some, that's crazy. For others, that sounds like a dream come true. But for me, it was a lot. It was hard. It's like my whole life was wake up, gym, spend the whole day. I eat at home, and then I prepare my lunch for work, and I'm rushing out the door, and then I ending up being late, and that was a challenge of its own. And I remember one day, it was the day before I put in my 2-week notice. It was same as usual, rushing from the gym, heading off. I didn't have the time to pack lunch. I'm heading off. I get in the car. It was the Super Bowl weekend. I get in the car, put in the navigation, thinking it's going to be an hour at worst like usual. And because of the Super Bowl, I live in California, by the way, so that's right next to Nevada, and where the traffic's affecting us. It would have took me an hour and 50 minutes to travel 40 miles. And my phone didn't tell me how bad it was until I was halfway there. And I remember I was sat there in the traffic, and I was like, man, they're going to be on me, because they've been talking to me about how being late because the challenges that come with living so far. And I was like, dude, I had never called off before. And I just sat there in my car. I was next to an old park that I used to visit all the time. was in Diamond Bar, really nice park. And I remember I drove past this park every day to get to work. It's like 20 miles from my house. I don't have or 20, 30 miles from home, so I can't just like visit it. I'm busy. So for like the past 3 months I had been going to that job, I just drive past an old favorite park, never going. And I was just tired of it. I was like, I'm gonna be late anyways. I was gonna be like an hour late. Never been that late. It was always just by like a minute, and they would still come to me and talk to me, which was annoying as it on its own. And so I called in and I was like, just fucking lied. I said, yeah, my car broke down. I'm side of the road, can't make it. I think I was already 10 minutes late at this point. I just called. I said, fuck it, whatever. And I just went to that park. It was funny. I was trying to distract myself with music, but I couldn't. The Wi-Fi was off. My music wasn't playing, which is like, it's funny. It's like the universe works in funny ways. So I had no choice but to be in my mind. And because that park has a trail, and I'm just walking through the trail. There's not many people there, and I'm just alone in my thoughts. And it was like revisiting so many memories because I had gone there so much in my past. It made me question things, and I was like, I knew the commute wasn't for me. I'm not getting out of work. I'm not saying I'm about to freaking stop working and get this freelance thing going in a week and forget the 9 to 5. I'm not saying that. But I knew I needed to change that. And it's so weird how quickly we get comfortable. In just those 3 months, it's like there's that fear of quitting already. It's like, why? It's like, it's decent pay, but you could find that anywhere. So quick to attach to something comfortable and safe, And I had sat there and I had thought, and I was like, I can't waste 2 hours driving every day. If I gotta take that time back, get back like an hour and 20 minutes, because that's just a 20-minute commute instead. 40 minutes a day, yeah, save yourself an hour 20. I'd rather that. Do something to get out of this, because if I don't, I'm stuck. I couldn't bear it. I didn't want that. And I sat there, and it was a bomb view, man. I was just standing there thinking, and it questioned a lot of things. I went home that day. No, I did so much. I hadn't seen my I had barely seen anyone since I started that job because of all the driving. That day I went and I saw my in-laws, who I love like my own siblings. I saw my actual brothers, and I drove up and saw another brother my age. I visited everyone that day. It was strange. It was like regaining a bit of freedom, And I actually slept over at my brother's and then went to my job the next day. And at the end of that day, that's when I put in my 2 weeks notice. It felt very freeing. And the job was pretty good. They were giving a lot of overtime. I had worked a 66-hour week there. But you could typically expect, what was it, 6 days, 8 hours, 48 hours, or 9 days, 5 hours. So 45 to 48 hours, pretty good overtime. I'm probably going to switch to and make sure I have at least 60 hours again. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to span that out through 2 jobs. But I did the math. Even if I were to sleep 8 hours every day, which I rarely do, and work 60 hours, I believe the math came out to 52 hours left in the week. And then you want to throw in a commute, hour a day, it's 45. So much time. I know I could make it work. I do things like I'm schedule blocking. I'm not going to be able to read it. But I'm like schedule blocking my days, setting goals, staying on it. I uninstalled all my social medias, and then I went and created a new group chat with my brothers, where it's just accountability. All we do is share accountability, and I share my task, and then at the end of the day, I let them know how I did. Like, I'm blocking out all vices. It's like becoming hyper conscious of how I wasted time. It's like I guess I gotta go back a bit. I'm back at my mom's again. I thought I had taken such a good step. I'm very smart when it comes to saving. It's like if I make nearly 3,000 a month, I'll save like $1,800 every month off of that. It's like I don't have many expenses, you know? And through that, I was able to save up, and I gathered a recent friend, and a brother-in-law, and we went and got a place. And so, as roommates, and technically not my own, but as roommates, I got my first place. Was it before? No, it was after. A little after I turned 20. It was in February. Yeah. And the friend wasn't reliable, and I lost a place in August, which definitely felt like a step back. I didn't realize how much of a step back it was until I went from my brother's to here to my mom's. And it was like, fuck. I thought I had just escaped. And now I'm back at 21. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure a lot of people my age are living with their mom, but it's like, for me, it hurts, you know? It's not an environment for growth. I literally, whenever I have any work I want to do, I go to the library. I create environments that make discipline easy. Well, where am I going with this? I'm sharing this because I want to look back at this and remember that time where I felt stuck and know it would be different. I'm tired of falling back onto things. So I'm literally going to run away where I know there's no safety net. I want to move out of state, which I've never done. And I'm going to move out and I'm going to get my own place in September. And I'll be back to confirm it. And you'll see it. I'll be showing, no, not September. It might be October, actually. But I'll show the new place in October. How am I going to do that? I'm going to continue to practice my freelancing thing as I work no less than 45, but that's bare minimum, preferably 60 or maybe a little over 60 hours a week. And I'll still make the time to do that. And hopefully by time I leave the state, I will be freelancing. I will make that happen because I have the resolve to do so. Let me define resolve so you know what I mean when I say that. Resolve is to rather die than go against your word. I would rather die than be here in California in October and get the slide remarks. Oh, still here, huh? Glad you're here, bro. It's best. Get something close to me. You can come visit the in-laws. I know you love them. Hey, son. That truck, I have a friend. He has a hookup on that truck driving school. They want what's best for you, but they just want a version of you. Nobody could see it. No one believes in me anymore. And that's okay, because the only person who needs to believe in me is me. The only person who needs to believe in you is you. It's over once you don't believe in yourself. That's when it's over. I'm not saying I'm a teacher. I'm lost right beside you, man. I'm lost right beside you. No one's probably ever gonna see this. Maybe one day. I do want to be big one day on YouTube. And I'm making this long, I'm making this raw. I don't care about analytics. Obviously it's a small channel. Nope. This will probably never be seen. But I'm putting this here. That way I could look back one day. And If you feel lost, it's like, just know, dude, you learned. If you suffered, if like me, if you've gone through the 3 years and you've had suffering, there is no suffering without growth. But there is no growth without learning. And learning is seeing what happened and ensuring it doesn't happen again. So don't go repeating your mistakes. Be grateful for everything that's happened to you so far. I had a lot of bad raps, dude. I didn't leave my last place soon enough, and so the rent that we owed, we stayed there 4 days past, and I barely avoided getting an eviction from talking to the people, and maybe it was 10 days. It was a bit of a stretch, but I barely avoided an eviction, and we got slapped with the full rent, which went to collections. So that's fucking me up. And the other two of my roommates, I can't count on them. So I have to pay that off in order to move to my next place because my credit is fucked. If you don't know anything about credit, go learn. Go fucking learn. Don't be like me. Go learn about credit. Don't fuck it up if you want a place. My credit is fucked. My car got totaled by my roommate, and it cost me over $1,000 to fix, which I did. I fixed it. But I'm just saying, these are the financial challenges I have to face just to get to saving my place, saving up for a place. And I'm not crying about it. I don't want pity for it. I'm gonna face it and I'm gonna win. It's gonna be a part of the story. It's gonna make things interesting. There is no hero's journey without suffering. That's all. That's all, man. Peace.